literally kill everybody on the planet that quickly. And this is what helps prove devolution, is the fact that the President Biden is not the commander-in-chief. Good morning, America. Devolution Part 2 today. In case anybody's noticed, all my videos got taken down on TikTok. And you might ask yourself, why would all my videos be taken down on TikTok? Well, know the answer to that. The answer is because I am 110% directly above target. And so for those of you haters or doubters out there who thought I was nuts or crazy or I didn't know what I was talking about, well, TikTok thought I knew what I was talking about, and they decided to take me down. So I'm just pulling up Devolution Part 2. Before we get into the video, what I wanted to explain to everybody is, in order for you to understand the war that we are in and the things that are happening behind the scenes, you're not going to see this on CNBC or Fox News or ABC or CBS. We are at war, and we have been at war against the world order, the globalists, the Illuminati, for 8 years. This has been an 8 years military sting operation. In order for them to execute what they're executing, Donald Trump and the military had to devolve our government into a wartime position. We watched Devolution Part 1. This is Devolution Part 2. I'll be giving you my comments.
Devolution Part 2.
I just want to stop for a second. For those of you who don't know, this is Patrick Gunnels. Patrick Gunnels, he narrates these devolution articles who are written by John Harold. And John Harold goes by the name or the handle Patel Patriot. And him and a few other people started Badlands Media to become a non-censored media reporter of news. So Patrick Gunnels.
Defense Intelligence Agency and the Defector by Patel Patriot. This is part 2 of my ongoing Devolution series. If you haven't read part 1, please do so before continuing any further. I have every confidence that you've already read part 1. The Defense Intelligence Agency, DIA, is the intelligence branch of the United States military. Their mission is to, quote, provide intelligence on foreign militaries to prevent and decisively win wars. The director is a principal advisor to the Secretary of Defense. They typically serve 3-year terms. The current director, Lieutenant General Scott D. Berryer, was appointed by Donald J. Trump and confirmed by the Senate on July 30th, 2020. The DIA is similar to the CIA, but note this crucial distinction between the two agencies. What is the difference between the Defense Intelligence Agency and the Central Intelligence Agency? DIA and CIA are both members of the intelligence community. However, while the CIA is focused on providing intelligence to the president and his cabinet, we in the DIA are the principal source of foreign intelligence to combat-related missions.
Okay, I want to stop there for a minute and just explain to everybody that as part of the Q plan, the reason that Q said that the military was the only way is because of the fact that our entire government was so corrupt that it was captured by enemy combatants, foreign and domestic, that had basically seized control by virtue of corruption. With all this corruption that was within our government cannot function properly. And therefore, the republic, our constitutional republic, is at stake because of the fact that it's been captured. And that's war. And you need to understand that because we're at war, now we have intelligence agencies. We have the Defense Intelligence Agency, which is providing intelligence to the military, literally fighting a war against the CIA, okay, who's been captured. So I want everybody to understand that so that you have proper context as we go into this further. So I'll continue on.
Conflicting reports. Jennifer Van Laar of Red State, Mr. Jingwei, Mr. Dong, would be the highest level Chinese defector in history. It would be as if General Flynn had defected when he was the director of the DIA, defected to China with all of our military intelligence secrets. The CCP has claimed that Dong is still in China. They released a picture of him from a meeting that supposedly took place on June 24th. Although the free world can undoubtedly trust China, sarcasm, I have my doubts that they're telling the truth in this matter. India has claimed that there was no representation from China at that specific meeting.
Okay, I want to stop there for a minute and just explain to you that this from China, this was the guy that, like Patrick Gunnels was just stating, that he was on top of every single intelligence agency that China has. This gentleman, he knew it all. He had all the information, he had all the intelligence, just like Michael Flynn had here in the United States. He was at the pinnacle, he was at the highest position of intelligence. And believe me, those people, they know every little solitary single thing that's going on, both in China, in the United States, and everywhere else, all the time. We'll continue.
Some claim the photo is photoshopped. I believe it is a real picture, just not from the meeting China claims. Instead, I think we're looking at a photograph taken during a forum in 2020. The carpeting and chairs appear to be the same, but there is very little information online about this particular forum, and this is the only picture I could find that proved it happened. China's effort to dispel the rumors of Dong's defection have fallen short. China could interview him live on camera and save face. Instead, we have a questionable photo and nothing else. Regardless, as this article says, quote, the CCP has never admitted any defection of its MSS officers. Dr. Han Lianchao, a former Chinese foreign military official who defected after the 1989 Tiananmen Square massacre, told Spy Talk in an email on Monday. Shortly after the picture was released by China, the Biden administration came out saying the reports of Dong's defection were not true. We can't confirm or deny where he is exactly. But the response was definitive, a closed issue, game, set, match. In other words, we have no idea where he is, but China told us to say we don't have him. The Biden administration. Some of the information Dong reportedly brought with him was proof that COVID-19 was a bioweapon that was intentionally released. Think about the change in narrative that has occurred on COVID-19. Why isn't our savior, Dr. Fauci, being rammed down our throats via the lamestream media? He's been virtually blacklisted and his ties to the Wuhan lab exposed. We weren't allowed to discuss the possibility of a lab leak until recently. The FBI even received intelligence previously from Dr. Li Mengyang showing connections to the Wuhan lab. She was ignored and the possibility of a lab leak decried as a conspiracy theory. Why would they now change their story?
We need to pause just at that one spot. And we have to understand how evil and disgusting that these people are that we're in a war against. In this war, they literally were willing to release a virus that could have literally killed every man, woman, and child on earth. They had no idea how deadly this could be. Yet they were willing to release it purposely as a bioweapon. Just think about that. Think about how easy it would be for some sick SOB to literally kill everybody on the planet that quickly.
Why, on May 27th, did Biden order the intelligence community to look into the origin of COVID-19? As the article said, the Biden administration, quote, this spring shut down a State Department investigation into whether the virus could have leaked from a Wuhan lab, deeming the probe an ineffective use of resources, end quote. Trump started the State Department investigation. Biden terminated it. Now he backtracks and has the IC looking into the origin again. It was as if somebody who knew the facts was pressuring them to correct the story, corroborating reports that the DIA has challenged the FBI and CIA with information received from Dong. It's only in the last 3 to 4 weeks that anyone outside DIA knew about the defector, according to Red State's sources. Prior to that time, DIA was vetting the information provided and confronting Langley CIA officials with what they'd learned without divulging the source. In March, Secretary of State Anthony Blinken met with his Chinese counterparts in Alaska. This meeting took place 1 month after Dong Jingwei reportedly defected. The talks were hostile. Here is the transcript of the U.S.-China opening remarks. What everybody has missed about these quote-unquote hostile public remarks is the actual cause of them. Publicly, China told the United States to stay out of China's internal affairs. Privately, the CCP demanded that the U.S. hand over Dong. Quote, Blinken wasn't aware that Dong was with the U.S. government. The DIA has had Dong since February, and nobody outside of the DIA knew about it. That includes President Biden, the so-called commander-in-chief of the United States Armed Forces.
Okay, and so with Devolution, I prefer him to call him Resident Biden because he has no real powers in the scenario of devolution. He's literally up there as a puppet, and all of the strings are being pulled by the commander-in-chief, who is Donald Trump.
How is it possible that the United States president was unaware of the highest level defector in history? Maybe this is why. From the Red State article. Red State's sources say that's partially true. FBI Director Christopher Wray was ambushed with the information, they say, and Langley, CIA, was also unaware. Sources say DIA leadership kept the defector within their clandestine services network to prevent Langley and the State Department from accessing the person whose existence was kept from other agencies because DIA leadership believes there are Chinese spies or sources inside the FBI, CIA, and several other federal agencies.
Okay, so let's just stop there and let's digest what is being said there. Our intelligence operations, they can't even share information because of the fact that there's so much corruption and Chinese spies, Russia, that our entire government has been infiltrated by enemy combatants, and that's why we are at where we are at right now in the United States of America. And that's why this is a very critical time in the history of the United States of America, because if these bastards were successful, they could have literally destroyed our country, but God had a different plan, and I've been talking to you about that, so we'll continue with that.
DIA and devolution. DIA leadership, Trump appointed Lieutenant General Berrier, believes there are, quote, Chinese spies or sources inside the FBI, CIA, and several other federal agencies. He has proof. The defector brought terabytes of data with him. Included in that data is the, quote, names of Chinese spies working in the U.S. and names of U.S. citizens who provide intel to China, as well as Hunter and Joe's business dealings with Chinese entities.
Boom! Mr. Dong, Dong, he come over here from China with lots of info, lots of intel. I bring intel to U.S., okay? Terabytes. Do you know what a terabyte is? He brought so much information and intelligence that now the military intelligence, the Defense Intelligence Agency, Now our military knows the name, address, and telephone number of every single solitary spy in the United States of America. Every single one. When I make statements and Q makes statements and on the Q Alerts platform, we have it all. We have so much evidence by virtue of all of this electronic surveillance that goes on all over the world all the time. This is how we were able to capture the crimes, the treasonous crimes, all of the crimes, the pedophilia crimes, the trafficking, the drugs, everything. We have it all. And that's why there's going to be 1 million people going to jail, is because we have so much evidence that it's going to blow the minds of people on how much evidence we have and how many people are going down.
The implications here are massive. The DIA, the principal source of intelligence for combat-related missions, kept the defector a secret because the president was implicated by the information the defector provided. Here is another nugget from Dr. Han Liang Chao.
So I just want you to pick up just in that previous sentence. Okay, the military, if Joe Biden was really the president, okay, it would be considered treason for the military to keep that information from the president, the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, okay? And this is what helps prove devolution, is the fact that the resident Biden is not the commander-in-chief. And that's why they weren't sharing the information, is because the entire Biden administration is nothing but infiltrated, treasonous bastards that are going to jail.
Quote from the Red State article, Dong was last seen in public in September 2020, Han told Spy Talk last week. Dong's photos have been deleted by the Chinese search engine Baidu, according to some Chinese language news reports abroad. Is it possible he has been here since long before February? I believe Trump had a role in this, and the defector provided information that helped prove the election theft. Why would a Chinese defector come to the United States in February with information implicating President Biden, knowing that there are CCP spies everywhere? He would be sent back or disappeared. He either came here before Biden took office and the military has kept his presence quiet, or he came in February, as reported, knowing for certain the military would protect him by not telling the Biden administration. Both scenarios point to devolution.
Okay, so I'm going to inject another thought here that I want you to take into consideration. When President Xi Jinping came to the United States of America to meet with President Trump, they didn't meet in Washington, D.C. They met at Mar-a-Lago. And I don't know if you people realize it or not, but there is a SCIF, a secret compartmentalized information facility. In that SCIF, there's no spies in there. The only people who know what was said in the SCIF are the people who were in the SCIF. I believe that when Trump had Xi Jinping come to Mar-a-Lago, I believe that they had a meeting in that SCIF, and I believe that Xi Jinping was handing over to Trump in the United States of America, Mr. Dong. But because of the spies, and Xi Jinping he'd be hung in the public square, Tiananmen Square probably, if this ever got known to the Chinese Communist Party. I believe that that's where Xi Jinping said, okay, Mr. Trump, if we're going to pull off this operation of taking out the deep state, I have my guys on board, Mr. Dong's on board, okay, to bring all of this intelligence to the United States, to the Q team, so that they have all the evidence that they need to finish their operation. I believe that conversation was had in the SCIF at Mar-a-Lago so that it was 100% completely secret. And there was probably, outside of Donald Trump and Xi Jinping, there was probably only one other person who knew what was said from the United States and one other person that was said from China, but they were the ultimate close confidants of President Trump and President Xi. And then they would be tasked with going out and providing secret passage for Mr. Dong to get on a United States secret military flight from China to the United States of America, because that was a very dangerous and treacherous movement for Mr. Dong. That's the way I believe it came down. I don't have any evidence at all, but if you just use deductive reasoning on why Xi Jinping met with Trump at Mar-a-Lago and not Washington, D.C., you can connect the dots. Final thought here from Patrick.
Final thought from the Red State article. Again, according to sources, Dong told DIA debriefers that at least a third of Chinese students attending U.S. universities are PLA, People's Liberation Army, the military arm of the CCP, assets, or part of the 1,000 Talents Plan, and that many of the students are here under pseudonyms. One reason for using pseudonyms is that many of these students are the children of high-ranking military and party leaders. I did a quick Google search for how many Chinese students attend U.S. universities. 372,000. That means, at minimum, China has 124,000 college-aged assets scattered across our country. They have way more than just college-aged assets here. China has an army within our borders. They have infiltrated and compromised nearly everything. That is why it is taking so long for Trump to make his reveal. That is why there has been an insane level of military spy aircrafts over the United States. Monkey works. Trump and the military are trying to neutralize as much of the threat as possible to minimize the fallout. Our enemy will fight tooth and nail to hold on to their power, but Trump and our military are preparing to deliver a death blow, and they have the help of defector Dong Jingwei. Devolution is real. The best is yet to come. And that's part 2. That's from Patel Patriot. Please follow Patel Patriot on Telegram, t.me/Patel Patriot. Or go to patelpatriot.substack.com, patelpatriot.substack.com. And of course, finally, to support the work we do here.
If you understand the inner workings of military law, if you understand that the devolution process was a process set up by Congress for such a time as this, is that when our government has so much corruption and so much infiltration from enemy combatants that the only way possible to fix it and to clean it out is to bring in the military. That's why the Defense Intelligence Agency was the single most important component to making this happen, is because we simply couldn't do it without them. So follow us on Rumble. I need a bunch more followers on Rumble. Share these videos with your friends and family. I had a video that was going viral on TikTok. It was over 310,000 views. That, along with all my other videos, got taken down off of TikTok. So just a little bit of proof for my followers, for the people who are interested in what I'm talking about, that what I'm talking about is directly over the target, and we are right and we are correct, and that's why we're being censored. So Rumble is going to be very important for the future of the lives. So please, many people as possible, get over there and please sign up, like and follow and everything else on all the platforms, but especially on Rumble. Nice to have you this morning, and we will be back next Saturday again. So folks, if you like my channel and you like the golden nuggets that we're delivering, please hit like and also subscribe. And also you can comment anything that you want to say or questions that you have down in the comment section, and we'll reply to that. Thank you.